and the idiom of the day over the chat box as well. With this, now I'll give my report when called upon during the evaluation phase. For next of the proceeding, I would like to hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Palvi. Over to you, Palvi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag and the tag team. Now it's time to start the speechathon, but I would request everyone to give a huge round of applause for all the speakers and encourage them. Let's start. I'll like to call my first speaker on stage. And for evaluating our first speaker, Toastmaster Yatin, I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Sagar, who will set the expectation. Toastmaster Sagar, are you there? Okay. I think you're online.
Yeah.
Could you
Hi,
please?
good morning, everyone. So my target speaker, Yatin, will be delivering his speech. The purpose of speech is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance the speech. All the best, Yatin. Over to you, Pallavi.
Toastmaster Yatin, could you please come on stage? Toastmaster Yatin, the dog who trained me, Toastmaster Yatin.
Morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. They say you don't choose a dog chooses you. But in my case, Twixie was chosen by someone I had never even met. I was in college when Twixie entered my life, a gift from my sister's friend. I will forever remain indebted to this mysterious person who fulfilled my childhood dream of having a dog. I wish I could thank them in person, but I've never even met them. Honestly, if I were to run into them at some point, I'd hug them first and then say, "Why didn't you warn me about this hurricane that was Twixie?" Usually, bringing home a dog is a family decision. But in my case, my sister had other plans. She hid him for 2 whole days just to escape my mother's wrath. And where on earth did she hide him? Inside the cupboard. Because puppies love confined spaces. Inside the bathroom, because nothing screams stealth mode like a whining puppy. And my favorite, inside the car during her tuition classes, because apparently puppies love long lectures too. Eventually, the worst kept secret had to be revealed. And when I set eyes on Fixie, I instantly had fatherly instincts. I just picked him up, kissed his tiny little head, and thought to myself, this little guy is my baby. And Trixie reciprocated by licking me all across my face like a paintbrush, marking the beginning of a beautiful, lifelong journey. Now, let me tell you, Vixie was chaos on 4 legs. At just 1 month old, his favorite hobby was destroying my mother's plants. And when we tried to stop him, he would scrunch up his face and pretend to bite us. Only he didn't have any teeth, a ferocious gummy attack. As Trixie grew older, his naughtiness just kept leveling up. Simple walks in the park became like chase sequences from an action film. He just loved breaking his leash and charging after random strangers in the park, just for fun. And what did I do when this happened? I just looked the other way, pretending I didn't know this dog. But Twixie had other plans. He'd come running back to me, wagging his tail, exposing my betrayal. And then he'd just stand by my side, tongue out, happily enjoying my public scolding like it was some reality TV show. Now imagine me having a conversation with Twixie after one such episode. What is wrong with you, Twixie? You're supposed to be a good boy. Because it's fun, human. But you're supposed to be a good boy. Good boy? Never heard of him. Do you even feel guilty for what you have done? At that point, Pixie just stared at me, tilted his face as if I'm talking utter gibberish, and then would run off to commit the next crime. I realized I wasn't training Twixie. It was he who was training me. Eventually, I decided enough was enough. I called in a trainer to instill some discipline into Twixie. But Twixie had other plans. He would stare into the trainer's eyes as if challenging his authority. He happily accepted all the treats, did not even learn one single command. Eventually, the trainer gave up, leaving us to deal with our special child. So Twixie remained Twixie. Despite all his antics, Twixie brought our family together. We played with him together, we took him on vacations, we bonded over our shared frustration whenever he decided to break something. He turned our house into a home. But most importantly, he made me feel like the most important person in the world. Whenever I would come home from work, it was Twixie who was truly excited to see me. So much so that the greeting felt more like an attack. I started sneaking in through the back door just to escape being jumped on. But his love was unconditional. As they say, no human being can love you as much or be as loyal as a dog. And it was true. Once, when I took him for a walk, a stray dog tried to attack me. Now, Twixie, who was usually someone who kept scaring people, became my protector at this instance. He he took the stray on, even got bitten in the process, but refused to let it near me. Today, he's 13. He's older, slower, weaker, and prefers to sit most of the time. But even today, if a stray dog approaches during a walk, he gathers himself up with all his strength and puts himself between me and the danger. I guess some things never change. Having a dog taught me compassion, responsibility, and what it means to truly care for someone beyond myself. So, fellow Toastmasters, if you ever find yourselves pondering the question, what is true love? Just look into a dog's eyes. They don't judge, they don't hold grudges, they just love. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yatin. Now I would request everyone to give Yatin feedback. We'll wait for 1 minute. It's time for our second speech, and our second speaker of the day is Toastmaster Arjun. For evaluating Arjun's speech, I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Ayushi to set the expectation. Toastmaster Ayushi.
Master Arjun is giving a speech from his pathway, Presentation Mastering. It's a level 2 speech, and the title of the speech is Invisible Shield. And the speech timing is 5 to 7 minutes. 5 to 7 minutes, right? It's 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayushi. Toastmaster Arjun, could you please come on stage? Toastmaster Arjun, the invisible shield. The invisible shield, Toastmaster Arjun.
I used to be easily get hurt. A rude comment, a harsh word, and that will make me feel crumbled. and I would keep it for days together in my mind. But later I found something, an invisible shield, and that changed everything. Dear Toastmasters and fellow guests, a very good morning. Raise your hands if you ever been judged, criticized, blasphemed, shouted at, and that made you feel completely miserable and deeply hurt. I can see many hands. Answer this question, why do we feel hurt? Over to you. Anyone? Why do we feel hurt?
Due to expectations.
Expectations?
Difference
Difference of opinions? As Sharat rightly said, we feel hurt because of our expectations. We expect people to behave with us in a certain way. And when they don't, it pains us. Now, let us try to delve into where do these expectations come from? Attachments fuel expectations. The more we are attached to someone or something, the more we wish that person to behave as per our wishes. And if they don't, disappointment follows. I had a friend of mine who is usually very calm and composed, but of late he became very short-tempered. The other day when we were having our dinner together, all of a sudden he started shouting at me, "This food is terrible." Can't they cook proper food? I was taken aback because that's not the way that friend talks to me. He is a very good friend of mine. But I just smiled. I told him that the cooks are doing their best. I'll personally go to the cooks and tell him to cook the food properly and make sure that next time you get proper food. Now, why didn't I feel irritated? Because I knew something deep was going on. Mind you, this friend of mine is diagnosed third stage cancer. He's undergoing chemotherapy. The intense pain makes him feel irritable. So he didn't yell at me because he wanted to hurt me. He was struggling with his own pain. What he wanted was not my frustration, but my good understanding. Dear friends, most of the times people do not behave properly. It's not because they want to hurt us. It's not because there's something wrong with us. They do this because they are struggling with something of their own. Physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. Dear friends, if we can know this simple truth and try to inculcate in our life, we can handle any difficult problems, any pains very easily. But life is not so easy. What about somebody is genuinely trying to hurt us? Sometimes people walk with these buckets full of garbage and they just want to dump it on us. How do we handle these trivial, these dangerous situations? So this happened with me a couple of months ago. I usually meditate in the early morning hours. That's my routine. This particular day, I had an incredible experience. Every mantra I chanted, it resonated with me. I felt a deep sense of peace. My mind was at peace, my heart was light, and I felt some unshakable bliss coming into me. Later that day, as I was working in my office, a friend, a colleague, he just stormed into my office, slamming the door, and started yelling at me on the top of his voice. Now, imagine somebody behaves like you, walks into your space, starts yelling at you. How do you respond? Wouldn't you like to snap back and talk to him, shout at him? But I chose to take a different response this time. Because of the peace I had cultivated in the morning, because of the bliss I was still feeling, I smiled, made him sit down, spoke to him that, "Dear friend, what is wrong with you? What is it that is troubling you?" After a little bit of counseling, he felt much better. He, in fact, apologized to me. And he left the office with a smile on his face. So friends, most of the times, people do not need a lengthy advice. They just want to be heard. What they want is just a lending ear. But I should be mentally very sound to extend that understanding to him. If in my mind, I'm not together inside, it will be difficult to bring a smile on his face, let alone you smiling yourself. So friends, next time if someone is shouting at you and you feel hurt, just pause. Ask yourself, is it compassion and love in your mind, or your mind is filled with hatred and anger? Is the person who is actually targeting you is really a culprit, or he is actually struggling with some of his own pains? What is your contribution to this interaction? Remember, no one can hurt you without your permission. So next time, if someone throws anger at you, don't catch it, but just transform it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun. Let's give feedback to Toastmaster Arjun, and let's take a minute for that. Thank you, everyone. It's time that we have our speaker number 3 on stage. I would like to call Toastmaster Mrinal and to evaluate his speech. We will Toastmaster Ria, you were saying something?
No, nothing.
Okay, so to evaluate Toastmaster Mrinal's speech, I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Ria Anand. Ria Anand, can you please set the expectation for Toastmaster Mrinal?
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Mrinal would be delivering a level 1 project 3 speech with the purpose of introduction to vocal variety and more body language. I wish the speaker all the very best. And timer, please note that this would be a 5 to 7 minute speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ria. Toastmaster Mrinal, your movie is not over yet. Your movie is not over yet, Toastmaster Mrinal.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and dear guests. Imagine you are in a movie theater, popcorn in one hand and soda in the other. The screen is live with tension. The protagonist has been broken, betrayed, and battered beyond belief. Now let's say the protagonist is being doomed. Now, what is the first thing that would come to your mind? Would you stand up, dust off your seat, and will walk out saying, "That's it. The hero is doomed"? No, right? You'll wait, because deep inside you know that the twist is coming. The twist is coming. That redemption arc, that grand comeback, and especially that moment when the protagonist comes back. He starts it, and he comes back not only victorious but transformed. That's how it is. And yet, when life throws us into the darkest of the scene, what do? We crumble. We are thrown in a scene which is so dark, and we always talk about something which is not relevant. Why me? Why now? Why there is this thing happened to me? Now, this is what we always think about. These are the questions to be asked. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Your movie is about to change because your movie is not over yet. And when life puts you into the darkest of the scenes, then one thing is for sure. The plot twist is just round the corner. And when the plot twist is just round the corner, things will change. Trust me, this happened to me in a very hard way. I decided to sign up for something which I had absolutely no business doing, running a marathon. Now, for a guy like me, the idea of fitness is binge watching Netflix, lifting those remote controls, and sprinting my way towards an ice cream truck. Thought he would conquer 42 kilometers of sheer agony. 42 kilometers of sheer agony. Why? Because one of my friend, which now I suspect was an undercover sadist, told me one thing. It's all in the mind, bro. Lies, complete lies. The race day arrived, the music, the crowd, everything was enthralling. I was ready. I was completely ready because I thought like I am Rocky Balboa about to take down Apollo Creed. Gun fired and I took off like a gazelle for exactly 2 kilometers. And then I thought one thing, because the reality slapped across my face. My legs were cemented. My lungs were staging a rebellion. And my sweat glands were on an overdrive because even my sweat was sweating. At kilometer 5, an 80-year-old uncle overtook me. At kilometer 7, a mother with a baby stroller zoomed past. And at kilometer 10, I was down with my confidence. Even my self-esteem was gasping for breath. Imagine. The worst thing which I did there was I looked at the exit gate. And when I looked at the exit gate, something really different changed. I thought this is the right time to quit. Nobody will get to know. And as I was about to move out of my movie, the twist happened. Yes, the twist happened. Now, as I was about to surrender, I heard a voice. It was not a divine intervention. It was not somebody, a coach giving a motivational speech. No, it was not that way. It was a little child who was standing just around the sidelines holding a board. The board said, pain is temporary, but quitting would make a funny story. Pain is temporary, but quitting would make a funny story. I stood there, I chuckled. And in that moment, something really shifted. I found out, I understood one thing. Now you have to change it because the struggle isn't forever. The only thing is that this is the time for an interval. And when you understand this, you move forward much more stronger. When I did complete that race, I understood one thing definitely for sure, that the twist is only visible if you refuse to leave in the middle of the story. And Toastmasters and my dear friends, maybe many of you are standing at that exit gate. Maybe a lot of you have your dreams crumbling right in front of you. Maybe you are thinking that this is not the right time, and maybe the life has thrown you in a scene which is so bleak, so uncertain that you have decided in your mind, this is it. I quit. But I'll tell you one thing, the twist is just round the corner. You need to think that. And if at all, your life is full of struggle, then congratulations. You are in that stage of your life where legends are made. So make sure you don't leave that movie theater. Make sure that you don't leave that seat of yours. Hold on to that seat and move forward strongly. And believe in yourself, because twist would come. I'm sure it would come. And when you look back, you would have this moment to say, this was the reason why it all happened. So be in that movie. Do not leave in the middle of the story. The climax is waiting, because tough times never last, but tough people always do. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mridul. Let's take a minute to give feedback to him. Now it's time to call on stage our fourth speaker of the day, Toastmaster Shivam, and I will be evaluating his speech. His pathway is from presentation mastery to share the significance of a mentor. And I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Shivam. Timer, please note the timing of the speech should be between 4 to 6 minutes. Toastmaster Shivam?
He's only stepped out. One moment.
Sorry. Can you be please loud? I'm not able to hear.
He has actually stepped out. I think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
that-
If that is the case, we can have a speech later. We can have another speech by Toastmaster Shivani. Toastmaster Shivani, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. So let's have Toastmaster Shivani as our fourth speaker. And to evaluate Toastmaster Shivani's speech, I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Bhanu Dravid.
Good afternoon, everyone again. Today, Toastmaster Shivani is delivering her level completion speech, path completion speech from level 5. From the path, okay, the the purpose of this speech project is for the member to reflect on her growth during the completion of an entire path. And the purpose of the speech for the member to share some aspect of her growth during the completion of a path. So I wish all the best to Toastmaster Shivani. And since this is a milestone speech, I would request everyone to give her a standing ovation. Thank you.
Toastmaster Shivani, life is a full circle. Life is a full circle. Toastmaster Shivani.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pallavi. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes life brings you full circle to a place you have been before just to show you how much you have grown. I feel privileged that I am getting evaluated by Toastmaster Bhanu Dravid. I want to take you all back to 2018 when I joined Toastmasters. When I joined Toastmasters, and it was my first speech. The first speech is icebreaker speech. The first speech of my first path in Toastmasters. My icebreaker speech was evaluated by Toastmaster Bhanu Dravid. And it is said that evaluation is very important. Evaluation can make or break the speaker. The evaluation that I have received from Toastmaster Bhanu motivated me to come back and give another speech, come back and give more and more speeches, be an active Toastmaster. And now I think life is a full circle that now that I'm ending my second path, coincidence that I yesterday got to know that my speech will be evaluated by none other than veteran Toastmaster, Toastmaster Bhanu Dravid. And this tells me that yes, life is a full circle. And as I reflect on my path, my second path, motivational strategies, I feel humbled, and in front of my eyes, I have the full Toastmasters journey. A very good afternoon to my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm here to reflect on my journey of motivational strategies path. I started this path in 2021 when I joined Eloquent Toastmasters Club. I gave around 15 speeches, took multiple roles, listened to so many powerful speeches, won awards, mentored multiple new members in this path. In those 15 speeches, I tried my best to come up with a different theme, different message every time. I shared social messages, thought-provoking messages through my speech to make this world a better place to live in. I've shared my travel stories, shared about my childhood stories, about my friends and family. I've shared through my speeches about my crumbled heart and how I have put together those crumbled pieces of my heart together to build a new masterpiece. And I have shared some fun times as well as my traumas in this safe space of Toastmasters. In Eloquent Toastmasters Club, I have celebrated festivals like Holi, danced on the Garba tunes, meetings in chayos, and meetings in a park. We have celebrated the wins together, struggled with the failures. We have seen times in club where one member used to wear multiple hats in a meeting because we used to have such less number of members joining the meeting. And then we have seen the time where the club has grown to be one of the best clubs in district. And there were the days when the room gets so full that we are dragging the chairs from outside. And with all this, I think we have seen all the seasons, felt all the emotions in this club. And I think a soul truly lives when it lives through it all, feel all the emotions. And I think I have lived each moment with this club and during this path. In all these speeches that I have given, some of the objectives of the speeches to name, I've worked on the speech with a purpose. I've learned to give vocal variety and body language, communication styles, active listening, mentoring. I've worked on the project of understanding emotional intelligence, how to focus on positive, how to motivate others. These were some of the themes and the objectives of my project in this path of motivational strategies. I have also done multiple activities as a part of this path. Some to name are Instagram live sessions that I have done for Eloquent Toastmasters Club, hosting team building activities in my office space. So these are some of the additional activities as a part of motivational strategies path. This path helped me in building skills as a powerful and effective communicator. This path culminates in a comprehensive team building project that brings the best of all the skills together, including public speaking. As Jeff Bezos says, that we are stubborn on vision and we are flexible on details. Similarly, my mantra in life is also that I always write the purpose of my life with a permanent marker and I write the path with a pencil, which means that my vision is clear, the purpose of my life that I'm following is clear and it's permanent, it's constant. However, the path and the direction I choose keep on changing. And with that, I have learned in motivational strategies that one of the best and the most effective strategy is the one that aligns with your most authentic self. Be real, be intentional, and the success will follow. Life is like a camera. We just have to focus on what is important, Capture the good times, develop from the negatives. If things do not work out, take another shot. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing our best today. And every single day, I have tried to inculcate this strategy that I have learned in this path in my everyday life. How I start my morning is how my entire day be. I start my day with a smile everyday challenge. I make sure to dance a little before stepping out of my home because that changes the way I walk out in the world. Because I strongly believe that that increases your confidence and how you show up outside your comfort zone. Now I want to share some accomplishments within and outside Toastmasters. Within Toastmasters, I have won Best Speaker in our club meetings, won some of the public relation awards, Triple Crown Award back in 2021. But each time I join meeting of an external club outside Eloquent Toastmasters is when I realize that I step out of my comfort zone. I know people in Eloquent Toastmasters Club. The faces are familiar to me. They are my friends and they know me through my stories. They clap out loud for me, that encourages me. But when I step out of my comfort zone into the faces and speak in front of faces which are totally unknown for me, that's when I realize that yes, this is an accomplishment where I have the courage to step out of my comfort zone. And last but the most important, within the Toastmasters, my biggest accomplishment and the achievement is the amazing connections and the friends that I have made in this club and in the Toastmasters community as a whole. Such amazing friends. Through my speeches, if I have touched even one heart, I think that's one of the biggest achievement. To know people through their stories, to build connections is something that I'm taking back with me. Now, outside Toastmasters, in my new role in my office, last year, I got the opportunity to travel and host stakeholder engagement sessions for Kenya government. It was a challenging yet exciting milestone in my public speaking skill. I was supposed to address the big government delegates, which were like Principal Secretary of Kenya government, somewhat equivalent to our cabinet ministers. I was nervous, no doubt. And I was supposed to address audience more than 50 people. Keeping all the stress aside, I worked hard with my Toastmaster spirit alive in me, and the sessions went great. So this is something that outside Toastmasters that I've achieved in previous year. Apart from that, I have hosted multiple volunteer campaigns for NGOs and underprivileged kids. And speaking outside the Toastmasters is the fruit of all the hard work you have done within the Toastmasters community. Whatever we have learned in Toastmasters, when we apply it in our day-to-day life outside, is when you realize that you have grown at an individual level too. What have I learned so far reflecting on my growth journey? I've learned that speaking is a skill, but listening actively is an art. When we learn how to listen, only then we can be a good speaker. I have listened to so many speeches of such an incredible speakers, Toastmasters in our club and outside. This path has taught me to focus on positive and to have innate self-motivation. One shouldn't rely on external sources of motivation. Listening to motivational videos, getting inspiration from other amazing leaders is great. However, there will come some moments where you are all alone, where you are in a new space. Maybe you do not have internet connection at that time. You can't watch the videos or you can't dial into some of your inspiring leaders or your mentors. At that time, you realize how important it is to have self-motivation. We should inspire ourselves. We should know how to motivate our own self. Now, impact of being a Toastmaster. Some aspects of my growth. Impact of being a Toastmaster is that I'm ready to take challenge anytime and anywhere. Even if I'm not ready for it, but challenging situation comes in, I'm ready to step up and take it up and take it as a new challenge every time. For example, in my office, if my manager comes in and says, Shivani, prepare a presentation on this topic, and tomorrow you are supposed to host a Zoom meeting with more than 150 people, even now, it still gives me a little bit of nervousness, but I muster courage to take up that challenge. And it is only because of Toastmasters journey and this path that I'm completing today, that is motivational strategies. I've learned to take up the challenges and I'm ready to take the challenge. So I say yes to my manager and I go in and work hard for that. If my friend comes up and says, Shivani, I need your help to host a party that I'm throwing for my parents' 25th marriage anniversary, I am ready to help my friend in hosting that event. From your professional journey to your personal life, you are ready to take on the mic and speak in front of people. That's the confidence and courage that I have learned and got from Toastmasters. What next? New Toastmaster goals. So the new Toastmasters goal is to take time to recharge and rejuvenate myself, take a short break, but then come back stronger. I want to come back to pursue my leadership journey in Toastmasters. Till now, I have taken up multiple roles in the club level, in executive committee, but I want to come back and take up the leadership roles in area and division level. And last, I would like to end my speech with the gratitude because nothing is possible without the support of the Toastmasters community, mentors, amazing friends in this club, Eloquent Toastmasters Club, and everybody who have supported me in this journey. Without gratitude, I can tell you that every single day I feel grateful that each and everyone who have clapped out loud for me when I was not not in that space of knowing how capable I am. In that space, every one of you have supported me and encouraged me. So thank you so much to one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivani. That was indeed motivation. Let's take a minute to give feedback to Toastmaster Shivani. I want to check on Toastmaster Shivam. Is he back? Toastmaster Shivam, are you back? Okay, perfect. So team, now it's time for our fifth speech, that is by Toastmaster Shivam, and I will be evaluating Toastmaster Shivam's speech. His path is presentational mastery, purpose to share the significance of a mentor. Toastmaster Shivam, could you please come on stage? Timer, please note, the speech will be 5 to 7 minutes long. Toastmaster Shivam, your North Star, Toastmaster Shivam.
A wise man has once said, and I quote, if you cannot see where you are going, ask someone who have been there before. A very good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. How often you hear these terms, mentor, mentoring, or mentorship in your daily routine? For some of you who are from a startup background, they can relate it to some sort of startup mentorship program. For some of you who are from a cooperative background, they can relate it to the mentorship buddy system, also known by the term on-the-job training. And for all of us, we can relate it to the mentorship program provided by the Toastmasters itself. We're talking more on that at a later part. Let's explore this term, mentorship, and understand how a mentor adds value to one's life. The term mentorship signifies to help, to assist, to support,
someone less experienced by someone who have been there practicing that discipline for quite some time. A question might arise in your mind that why I need a mentor at all? I can get access to anything, I can read about anything all at my fingertips. All this information is there at my fingertips. But dear friends, reality is not the way we interpret it. With all those information, you can become knowledgeable, but not wiser. And you need a mentor who knows where to apply that knowledge. Let's take a small example to understand this. Consider me. I don't know swimming at all. Let's say one fine day, I sit and read about swimming. I read everything about it. Will I be able to swim after that? Of course not. I would need that helping hand that not only push me into the waters, but pull me all the way surviving in it. With a mentor at your side, with a mentor by your support, by your side, you know what to grasp and what to let go. Dear friends, if you introspect, you can recall more such instances where a mentor has supported you. You've started something new, felt uncomfortable in between, but with that constant support and guidance you get, you came out as a victor. One such instance that I can recall is during delivering the icebreaker speech here in Toastmasters. Like any naive speaker, I was experiencing butterflies in my stomach. I somehow prepared a speech and shared it to my then mentor, Toastmaster Devan. He highlighted there are a lot of improvements to be made. The speech was not up to the mark. He highlighted that the speech was short, the core idea was not explained properly, and there was some misuse of the language in some parts. I realized I have to revamp the speech. I parted it into crumbles and started to focus on specific aspect. We had multiple sessions, sometimes even late at night. He himself helped me adding parts of it. Finally comes the D-Day. And guess what? The ice was broken, smashed all the way. And not only that, I was even voted as the best speaker of the meeting. This has made me filled with happiness and joy and was made possible only because of that constant support and guidance I get from my mentor. This was one such instance where a mentor has brought value in my life. Talking more on this mentorship program that we have here in Toastmasters. So as a new joinee, when you join a new club, the VP of Education will assign you a mentor. And it is not the responsibility of the mentor, but the mentee itself to get in contact, have multiple sessions, ask doubt, and get that supporting arm, get that supporting hand. Hoping to hear more such stories and creating more such memories in the days ahead. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Shivam. Let's take 30 seconds to evaluate, to give feedback to Toastmaster Shivam. It's time for our final speech by Toastmaster Bhavna. To evaluate Toastmaster Bhavna's speech, I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Ashish.
Okay. Ashish, can you just reset that? How? Yes, it's on. Pallavi, can you just confirm? Are you able to hear the voice?
From you guys, yes. From the video, no.
It's not closing one. Pause it.
Okay.
Could you please
All
play?
right. So I'm getting my own echo.
No. Voice is not coming from video.
To the audience.
Yeah.
Okay, we will have to then share it with the voice, no?
In the meanwhile, what is the title of Toastmaster Bhavna's speech?
Who's sharing screen? Yeah,
Person who shares screen will have to.
yeah, but we'll have to make this full screen. What's the way? It's a different laptop. Yeah. Okay, share it with the voice. So you will have the option at the bottom to share it with the voice. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's fine now. Just share it now. Should be okay. Okay.
Full lesson about leadership, balance, and transformation.
Can online audience hear it? Yeah, super. So we are all good to go. And all right. Ladies and gentlemen, so today my target speaker, Toastmaster Bhavna, is sharing her level 4 completion speech. Her pathway is strategic relationship. And in the level 4, she's elected the project of creating a podcast. I am super excited to listen to her podcast. I've had a sneak peek of it already, so I can tell you are in for a good time. As a part of my evaluation, I'll be looking at the her skills to organize and present the podcast, and also assess that how engaging the podcast is for the audience. Of course, it's up to her to decide the content of the podcast, but how much engaged we are in this entire podcast, I'll be assessing that element. The timing of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Timer, please take a note of that. Wish Bhavna all the very best. Back to you, Palvi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. Please give a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Bhavna.
Palvi, you were asking about the title. It is Life's Daily Table Topic.
Life,
Daily Table Topic.
daily table topic. Toastmaster Bhavna, daily table topic. Daily table topic, Toastmaster Bhavna.
Life is funny. It just throws us in a situation where we are expected to perform like a seasoned actors. But instead of scripts, we get silence and sometimes panic. So just think about it. On daily basis, we are handed over with some table topics. Convincing your boss that you deserve a raise, table topic. Convincing your kid why vegetables are important, table topic. Explaining your friend why a YouTube 5 minutes recipe is a lie. That's a tough one, but again, table topic. So this is very unpredictable, yet true. That life always brings us in a situation where we have to deliver table topics on daily basis, whether you are prepared or unprepared. So I was not this enthusiastic about the impromptu speaking. I was mastering procrastination. Had it been a case where procrastination was an Olympic game, I would have had 3 gold medals, one sponsored trip, a sponsored deal, or maybe one reality show as well.
I used to think that I'll start working on my communication skills, my speaking skills tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week turns into months. And by the time I realized, I was fluent in excuses. Until I realized that, yes, something is not working and I have to work upon it. I decided to work. I decided to show up. But then I started holding myself back because I was panicked. Something was not letting me to show up. I call it procrastination. I had 1001 excuses to not do what I am supposed to do. I thought that let's create a podcast. Let's record myself. I didn't. I promised many people that yes, I'll do that. I'll do that. I never did it. Something was holding me. So finally, I had to break this. I thought that it's a right time to do something about it. So then it comes when I thought how to be prepared for something unprepared is just to prepare anyway. Prepare on daily basis. So I thought of recording myself. I thought of creating a small recordings for myself. At the beginning, it felt weird, but then words and pauses and the sentences, everything started making sense to me. Now here's a glimpse for you all from that small recording which I recorded for myself for the very first time after a lot of procrastination. Please.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever and wherever you are listening. What if I told you that leadership is not about control? It's about creating the right environment. Let me take you to a quaint pet shop where a tiny turtle taught a powerful lesson about leadership, balance, and transformation. The owner brought home a tiny turtle and placed it in a tank with 9 vibrant fish. He ensured the tank had everything, a perfect ecosystem with food and care provided on time. However, 2 days later, he noticed one fish missing. By the 3rd day, he caught the turtle nibbling on its 3rd victim. Upset but determined, the owner didn't give up. Instead, he created a new ecosystem. He placed the turtle in a net within the tank, close enough for the fish to swim around, but far enough to keep the turtle from harming them. Day by day, the owner introduced the turtle back into the tank, supervised for 15 minutes at a time. Slowly, the turtle began coexisting peacefully, and before long, it had befriended the fish, thriving in a shared environment. This incident holds a powerful lesson for leaders. A successful ecosystem does not emerge by accident. It is built with intention. Leaders must create environments where individuals with diverse strengths, skills, and temperaments can coexist and thrive. It's about recognizing differences and fostering the harmony through guidance, patience, and structure. As a pet owner proved, with the right leadership, even the most unlikely members can find their place and contribute to a thriving collaborative ecosystem. So here's my message for all the leaders, that great leaders do not create followers. They create spaces where everyone can lead, grow, and flourish.
So at the beginning, when I recorded this really felt weird. With a bit of tuning, I created this. But then when you hear it raw, it's like stepping on a Lego. I mean, just understand, just think about it. Who intentionally do this, who intentionally listen themselves in the recording. It doesn't sound good. So when I did this is like that everybody should do this, that overcome the procrastination, then only you will come to some conclusion that where the life is taking you, or maybe this can take you to a different angle altogether. Now, if you think that I believe life is like you standing at a Rajiv Chowk metro station. Crowd will either push you in or out, but the prime and foremost responsibility is to stand in the line. Okay, because things will come and go out of your way, but the responsibility is just to stand and act. We always talk about this, that you have to at least show up and consistently show up so that you could do something about your life. Because whether you like it or not, life will keep on throwing some table topics to you day in and day out. The only question is, are we ready to answer? Are you ready to answer? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavna. Let's take a minute to give feedback to Toastmaster Bhavna. Thank you everyone for the feedbacks. Now it's time to conclude our speechathon and move to our second section, that is general evaluation. And for that, I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Anurag.
Speech evaluations. Okay, thank you so much, team out of the day. Let's start with the speech evaluation first. So I would like to call on stage the evaluator first, Toastmaster Sagar, to evaluate the speech of the speaker number one.
I'm audible?
Yes. Over to you. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters. I know two type of people. One who love dog and one who hate dogs. After listening to the speech of Toastmaster Yatin, my target speaker, I'm sure people in this room would start, those who hate dogs, even those people will start loving dogs. Toastmaster Yatin, your speech had everything: clarity, good grammar, humor, comfort, gestures, eye contact. Especially, I like the ending where you mentioned by looking the dog's eye, one can feel love and compassion. your story of the dog, where you mentioned about how your dog Tuxi saved you from the stray dogs when he was young, and even after getting old, he's still saving you from the stray dogs by getting ready. As a dog parent of a 3-year-old dog, I can relate to that story. Okay. Especially in your speech, what I like about is the body language, where you mentioned about inside the car and dog was charging. However, in this speech, I feel that there could have been there are some areas of improvement, like uh, you took a pause while speaking. So I feel that if you would have practiced a bit more, it would have been better. Secondly, this projects this involves it requires uh, engaging the audience. So you could have engaged the audience by asking them a question, because the dog is majority of people have dogs these days. So these things you could have taken care. Overall, it is a very well crafted speech. I really love it. I feel that we humans don't deserve the dog. So you touched upon a very sensitive topic, which is, close to my heart. And overall, a very nice speech. You just put some the recommendation that I mentioned, and you would be a better speaker. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sagar. Now let me call on the stage the second evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Ayush.
Just imagine someone near to you immediately comes up to you and say, I don't really want to talk to you. I hate you. And they just leave. Would you just want to lash out at them and just want to hurt them back immediately? Or would you just take a step back, think that, what is wrong with that person? Maybe they are not in the good mood. Maybe something is going on with them. Well, this is what Toastmaster Arjun focused on. And today I am going to be his evaluator. I don't know the purpose of the project, so I'll give a general evaluation of his speech and the way he presented. Arjun, I really like that you picked a relatable topic. I could see that you were very passionate about what you were speaking. You were quite confident and you were comfortable on the stage. It felt like you were yourself. Next, what I really liked was you started with a question. You asked, have you ever been hurt? And when you asked that question, I was thinking, hurt? Is he talking about when I was walking and the table hit me and my tiny toe hurts? Or is he talking about the time that my mom yelled at me because I left the wet, damp towel on the bed? I think that question was asked too early. And before you ask a question, I know it's an excellent way to gauge the audience's attention, but give us some context. So what hurt you're talking about, or what is the question for about? So that was first. Second, I think you got a bit distracted when there was distraction. Now just imagine if some people in the room are using their phones. You wouldn't point at them like, okay, don't use your phone. No, right? So whenever there is an outside distraction, just let it be. Let the others in the room handle. The president is there, the VP education is there. Someone is sitting here, let them handle. When you're on the stage, be present on the stage only. Then I really like that you had two very interesting stories about your friend and a colleague. I was just getting, oh, it's story time, but then your story immediately ended. It felt like it ended soon. What I would have wanted you to do is, I remember some bits and parts of your first story. You told that your friend was calm, he was short-tempered, and the food wasn't cooked properly, so he just lashed out. Tell me more. Your friend was calm. Fine. How he was calm? Who is he? Tell us about an incident where you just came out and dumped your anger on him, but he just said, okay, Arjun maybe he could be going something internal conflict, or he would be angry, and that's why he lashed at me. And he just listened to you calmly, and he reacted in a way where he used peace and used peace. He used some moment to calm himself down and then talk. So to give us more details, you talked us about the work colleague who came to you and he was just lashing. Once again, tell us why. Was there a deadline that he missed? What happened? Give us more context. Overall, I really like the speech topic that you chose, and I like the way that you ended your speech. It was a very powerful ending, which said that no one can hurt you without your permission. And I totally agree with that. A very powerful message shared. I like the stories that you shared, but I would have really listened to more about it. And I wish you all the very best for your future speeches. And back to you, Mr. Nirmal.
Now it's time to call the third evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Riya Anand. Over to you, Toastmaster Riya.
Thank you so much, Journal Evaluator. My target speaker today transported all of us immediately to the movie theater with his start. I'll just take 2 minutes. I just walked up this staircase. I'll just begin in a minute. Sorry. Yep. Okay, I'm good to go. My speaker today, Toastmaster Mrinal, immediately transported all of us to the movie theater with his start of popcorn and soda on how we all feel if the protagonist is betrayed and doomed at the very start. I must say, Toastmaster Mrinal, the way you spoke, the message that you put out on if you are struggling, on if you have a tough day, it means that the twist is coming. It's always it's just always to be there, to hang on to it and think what can be done better. There are moments in life where we feel that this is the worst, and that's when we start, okay, got it. It cannot go beyond this. I have to get up. And that's where the twist comes. The way you talked about this very message all through your speech and with your own example of a marathon was just mind blowing. Every kilometer explanation on how you felt was just on spot. It helped us run with you at that very moment to both to understand what were you feeling and how painful was that the first 10 kilometers were for you. But the immediate twist that you brought in after the placard that you saw from the kid was just marvelous. Because, yes, it got you thinking at that very moment that, okay, it's persistence that I need here. Even if I persist today, I'll be able to go through the entire marathon. And this is what life is all about, isn't it? I have two key suggestions for you, Toastmaster Mrinal. First, that in the very start of your speech, there were pauses that were coming in too frequently. So if you could just space out those pauses after a thought that you've shared with the audience. So, for example, you could put a pause after you just shared the sentence that the kid had on a placard. Right. Quitting will make a funny story. You take a pause after that. It will help the audience absorb. But if you put a pause before, let's say, the first part of your quote was that pain is temporary, and there is a pause, the audience is stuck in the middle. So if you complete the entire quote and then take a pause, is something that will have the higher impact on the audience. The second major thing that I would want for you to take note of, the entire speech that you had was high pitched, although the topic that was way too good, wherein the voice modulation could have been done repeatedly in terms of the lowest points that you were talking about life. So there you could have used a bit of a low tone and then moved on again to high tonality when you were talking on how you need to buckle up and start it again, because that is what life is all about. So good thought, good delivery. I would say a bit of work on voice modulation would kick it off, and you'll be good to go for your next speeches. All the very best. And back to you, general evaluator.
Now it's time to call our veteran evaluator, Toastmaster Ashish, for evaluating speaker 4.
Okay, that was faster than I was expecting. I thought I was going to be the last, but anyways, it's never too late or never too early. A very, very good afternoon to all of you. If you are at the Rajiv Chowk and you want to get in the train, what's the best way? Just be in the queue, show up and be in the queue. And the force of it will make you enter the train. What a lovely message stitched by Toastmaster Bhavna. And the title, the table topics are everywhere in our life, is so very relatable. And the way you started, the way you stitched your speech first on the title, then talking about your experience of you being the master procrastinator, and then finally how you were able to kill the procrastination, you were able to do what you were planning. Amazing. And I think that's the story that's so very relatable to all of us, and you stitched it together beautifully. I want to compliment you for having gone through this journey, because it's very, very easy, so to say, to kind of give up. Okay, fine, we'll do it later. And there's always next month and the next day and the tomorrow, like you said in your speech, coming again and again. But finally, you were able to cross that. Congratulations. In your first talking about your speech, the way you delivered your message, I think it was very relatable. You took a lot of pauses, and I think that in a way helped the audience to digest the content which you shared, and then you came up with the conclusion was very nicely done. Coming to the whole podcast, I thought the fact that your podcast had a story in it, followed by the suggestion or the recommendation, was very well done. What I loved the most was the starting part of it, where you shared the little bit of context. So audience come to know what is coming their way. Then you spoke about the story, and then you completed it. And the whole editing and the way you have done it, wonderful, a great job done. I have done it very recently, so I can empathize a little more also what all would have gone behind it. A fantastic job done. Coming to a couple of the recommendation to go forward. One, coming to your speech delivery, I thought it was a bit mono-paced. Try and see that on the element which are less important, you could pace up and then pace down when you're talking about something which is important. That helps the audience, that helps you to grab audience attention when you want it the most. And I think that element is extremely important, because what I learned in my experience, that anything, be it your pace or your tone, if it is uniform, it becomes dysfunctional. You lose audience attention. So I think that is one element which you can work on it. And coming to your podcast, a great beginning, but I would give you a challenge to do this for next 10 days again and again. I have gone through this path where, of course, in the beginning, I was listening to my voice and saying, okay, I don't want to hear it, okay? And I can empathize with you on that. But I can tell you, after 10, 15 days, I fell in love with my own voice. I used to feel, okay, no, I don't like it. But I literally fell in love with my own voice by doing it every day. So I would urge you, do that every day for next 10 days. Whether you like to share it or not is up to you, but do that over next 10 days. Congratulations for the path completion. A fantastic job done. This project is not simple, and wish you all the very best for the future. Back to you.
Thank you. Now it's time to call on stage evaluator 5, Toastmaster Pallavi. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag. I will be evaluating Toastmaster Shivam's speech. Shivam, first of all, great job. The way you started with a quote that really caught our attention. And the way you said why mentorship is important, whether it is in startup or a well-established IT company, that's well and good. You also explained different scenarios, how a knowledgeable person is different from a wise person, and mentorship, how mentorship plays a big role into that. So kudos for that as well. I also liked your hand gesture. You were trying really hard to use your body language with your speech command. The only couple of recommendation I would suggest you is that try to use more of a stage space. I know that going on a stage and speaking your heart out is not easy, but try to use more stage space. Try to move around. Try to feel more relaxed. You can also, even if you've gone out before your speech to prep, just try doing a little bit of breathing so that you calm yourself down, and then you can go on stage and take a deep breath and just give your best. Second thing is your ending. I feel that your ending could have been a little better in terms of conclusion. That your message was great on point. The only thing is the ending could have been a little more impactful so that everybody had a takeaway with them after the meeting. So great job done overall. And I wish to hear more from you in the future. All the best. Over to you, Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Palvi. Now it's time to call the last but not the least evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Banu Trevi. Okay.
Sometimes life brings you a full circle just to show that how much you have grown. Toastmaster Shivani, first of all, I would like to congratulate you on your spectacular journey of completing this motivational strategies part. Toastmaster Shivani has always been consistent, committed, and congenial Toastmaster. And with her speech today, she has demonstrated that how much she has grown into the Toastmaster ecosystem. She reminded me her early days when she said that she joined our Toastmasters Club in our office and she delivered her icebreaker speech. And at that time also, Toastmaster Shivani has that spark in her, which I could identify. And I told her, Toastmaster Shivani, you have way to go. So again, a big round of applause for her. When you complete a path, there are lots of learnings, sense of accomplishment, sense of growth, and future plans. And Toastmaster Shivani today beautifully described all those things. She comprised all those elements in her speech. She shared her memorable moments, her happy moments with this wonderful club. To support that, she also had visuals beautifully used the visual aids with a collage, beautiful collage of laughing, cheering, dancing, celebrating festivals with all her colleagues. So great job, Toastmaster Shivani. Toastmaster Shivani also shared her learnings, the impact of this path on her personal and professional journey. She shared that how she was able to lead her delegation to Kenya government. Such an inspiring story. Now coming to the content part. So the content was absolutely bang on. Now, how did she deliver? So not only having a great content, having a great delivery also matters a lot. So she delivered in a cheerful voice with a smiling face expressing positive vibes all over the room. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Shivani. Now, if I would like to make a couple of recommendations, that would be Toastmaster Shivani, I know you are delivering speech virtually on a computer, but it would have been better if you could have stood up and delivered that speech. In that way, we could have seen your hand gestures and body gestures in a better manner. So that would have given a greater impact. Another thing on the content part, I would have liked to hear one or two story or anecdotes where you struggled or faced failure and how you overcome that. So that would have been better. Anyway, it was a great speech with all the contents of a reflection in a speech, that whatever the achievement we had with the learnings, with the accomplishment, with the impact. with the good peace, calmful delivery. Could have been better with like the standing gestures and finally with the some one or two story about the failure. In the end, I would like to say life is a cycle. The end of one journey is the beginning of another. So all the best for your next path. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now it's time to call on stage our tag team. So first of all, I would like to call the timer of the day today, Toastmaster Simran.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag. As the timer for today's meeting, I have been tracking the time of the speakers. I will be sharing my screen. Is it visible?
Yes.
You can have a look at time taken by each speaker on the screen. Toastmaster Yatin took 5 minutes 38 seconds. Toastmaster Arjun 5 minutes 53 seconds. Toastmaster Mrinal 7 minutes 1 second. Toastmaster Bhavna took 8 minutes. Toastmaster Shivam 4 minutes 58 seconds. Toastmaster Shivani 12 minutes 15 seconds. Moving on to the evaluation section, Toastmaster Sagar took 2 minutes 32 seconds. Toastmaster Ayushi 3 minutes 47 seconds. Toastmaster Ria took 3 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Ashish 3 minutes 30 seconds. Toastmaster Pallavi took 1 minute 38 seconds. Toastmaster Bhanu took 3 minutes 32 seconds. Now I would like to conclude my report with saying that a great speech isn't about how long you talk, but how well you connect with your audience. So let's all keep practicing the art of timing, and that concludes my report. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you so much. Beautifully narrated. Now I would like to call on stage the counter of the day, Toastmaster Pritesh.
For a detailed report, Toastmaster Yatin used once during the main speech. Toastmaster Shivani used repeated word thrice, once, 4 times, and twice, and I thrice. Toastmaster Shivam used repeated word twice. Toastmaster Bhavna used 4 times, like twice, that once. Toastmaster Sagar used once, repeated word once, 5 times, the twice, like once, twice. The general evaluator Toastmaster Ayushi used like twice, that once, twice, and once, and repeated word once. Toastmaster Ria used 4 times, repeated phrase once, that twice, thrice. Toastmaster Ashish used repeated word thrice, once, I twice. Toastmaster Pallavi used 13 times, that once, and once. Toastmaster Dravid used repeated word 5 times and 4 times. That's all. Thank you.
Now it's time to call the grammarian of the day today, Toastmaster Bhavish. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic meeting we have had. Shashi Tharoor would have been amazingly ecstatic had he actually attended this meeting. And the grammarian in me was actually over the moon as well, because the word of the day was utilized and it was used by four amazing speakers, starting with Toastmaster Arjun, Toastmaster Mrinal, Toastmaster Shivani, and Toastmaster Shivam as well. Unfortunately, phrase of the day or the idiom of the day, let bygones be bygones, was not used throughout the meeting. We can actually let go of it. Now, I would be talking about some good usages of the grammar. Starting with Toastmaster Arjun. Toastmaster Arjun said, next time if someone throws anger at you, don't catch it, but transform it. What a wonderful play of words and what a wonderful emotion depicted as well. Toastmaster Mrinal, he used 42 kilometers of sheer agony. Amazing. My friend who was an undercover sadist, I really like the usage of these words when you are just, using dichotomy and just placing those words in a single sentence. So thank you so much for actually using that sentence. Self-esteem, gasping for breath, amazing. Chuckle was a very good word to use instead of laughing, smiling, or just using a word of smirk, but actually he used chuckle, which was amazing. He actually concluded his speech with an idiom or a phrase which said that tough times never last, but tough people always do. Again, amazing message, amazing play of words. Coming to Toastmaster Shivani, I was actually spellbound when I was listening to your entire Toastmaster journey, though I was not able to actually feature in your picture. So I think that was really unfortunate because we had so many lovely pictures. But apart from that, you actually use one sentence. Evaluation can make or break a speaker, which actually symbolizes the meaning of the evaluation section. So I think amazing play of words there as well. Be real, be authentic, success will follow. Thank you so much for saying that. Dancing before you walk out in the world is something I can actually relate to and resonated as well. So thank you so much for that. Mustering courage, another beautiful word to use whenever you're trying to garner strength. You should always use mustering courage. Coming to Toastmaster Shivam, you said with all the information in the world, you can become knowledgeable but not wiser. I think it was a beautiful message delivered as well. Experiencing butterflies in stomach, again a great idiom. Revamping the speech, revamp is a word I really liked as a grammarian. Coming to Toastmaster Bhavna, I was mastering procrastination. Now, if you're actually trying to master a bad habit, again, a beautiful play of word. Turtle befriended the fish was a statement which you used in the podcast audio, which you made everyone here. Amazing. Stepping on a Lego, again, great use. Toastmaster Bhanu, in his evaluation, used the word congenial, which I actually really love. For those of you who are not aware of the meaning, it is actually about having those pleasurable qualities as a speaker or as a person. So thank you so much for using that word as well. Coming to not so good usages, there were just few. A speaker said I was supposed to address 50 people of audience. I think that was a mistake. It should have been I was supposed to address an audience of 50 plus people. Then someone said, I don't know swimming. You can change it to I don't know how to swim. Because when you are actually stating a statement or a quality which you are not aware of, you should never use it in a present continuous tense. Then this has made me feel with joy. It could have been it made me joyful or ecstatic. I will keep thinking that I will start working on communication skills. I will keep thinking is a wrong usage. It should have been I kept thinking about working on my communication skills. And as speaker said, I was panicked. Now, when you are actually using a main verb of past tense, you should never have a sorry. You should never have a prefix of a helping verb, which is itself is in past tense. So you should have used I just panicked. And then lastly, one speaker said he actually used a word monopaced. Monopaced is not really a word in English dictionary. The speaker could have used the word that your speech was in one tone or it was in a humdrum. So that would have been a better usage. But I think overall, Great learning for all of us. As I said, the Remarian in me and Shashi Thurur, his energy, his presence was of course here. And thank you so much for all the learning and a fantastic meeting. Back to you.
Actually, just before I was about to arrive here, your president called me and he told me you have all the times of the world. So bear with me. I'll take a little longer today. I was at the diagnostic center at that time. He was just checking at what time you're about to reach here. Okay, I'll starting my evaluation now. The meeting started almost on time. All the role players were available and roles were already assigned. And there was no technical glitch. Overall, we will say it was smoothly went there. Let's start with the sergeant and Dom. Sergeant Arm start with he basically congratulated all of them for getting the distinguished award for 3 years in a row. Then he has gone us through the club missions and do's and don'ts. Very well done. I will see you are reading it through a paper. It's very well done because sometimes I saw people, they memorize the things, but the moment they come to the stage, they little bit fumble. This is like a mission and just like a constitution Toastmaster. So it should be read in the same format and in the same template. Well done, Mr. Sergeant at Arms. Mr. President, again, he reiterated with the Distinguished Club Award. Definitely, it's a matter of pride for all of us. Then he had started with the guest introduction. So, Mr. President, I want your energy should be a little bit more on a higher side. I know you are a cool, calm person, but when you come on the stage, you should, attain a different aura. And a little bit welcome to the guest and the audience. I was a little bit expecting from you. Anyways, that part was covered by your Sergeant and Arms there. Now, team out of the day. I can understand you had a very limited role today because we had a lot of speeches over there. But the good point was there. I found throughout the whole meeting, the transition was very smooth there. You asked for 1 minute feedback without fail, once the speech was over. That was a good part. And lastly, you called out correctly the nomenclature, the speaker, the title, and the nomenclature. People generally goof up on these parts, but you very well done throughout all speeches there. Good job there. Now I'll first cover the tag team. Timer of the day was Toastmaster Simran. Detailed explanation. When she come on the stage, she bifurcatedly tell which person or which speaker is going to take how much time. For example, Shivani was supposed to have a speech of little longer duration over there. Very clear explanation over there. She flagged, her colors, red, green, blue, well on time. Trust me, this is the only role I have never taken in the Toastmaster because I always fear because I will forget to flag when the time is over there. So very well done. I know you have recently joined it, but you have really done it quite well. Just one thing, whenever you say you don't have enough time and you are showing everything on the spreadsheet. So in that case, reading of all the timing, people can see on the screen over there, you can just call out the outliers. 2 people were disqualified and they have surpassed the time limits because time keeps a very important, in speeches over there. Next is for the R counter, very exhaustive, details over there. I know it requires a lot of detail and attention throughout the meeting. You have to be there. You have to, count these clutch words over there. Well done job. No recommendation from me. Now the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Bhavish. You yourself told, but otherwise I was also about to say, whenever I speak, it reminds me, resonates me with the Shashi Tharoor. And you called it out. No one, repeated your phrase. The reason I know why it is there. It is very difficult. Even I could not catch what it was by then something you are saying. That's why I told you, please put up on the channel. I don't know you put it there or not. So, but otherwise detailed specifics instances were there. Again, a lot of attention and, your energy is required to catch specific phrases from each speech. Whenever you're in the well done job here. Again, dichotomy chuckled. So please, little bit go for the normal words next time. Just kidding. Good job. Now I'll come to the evaluation part. First, I'll go to the first evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Sagar. Toastmaster Sagar, you started with a hook. I love it. Love dogs or hate dogs. Either you can love dog or hate dogs over there. It's sort of hook. People got its attention. Then you move to the strength part and literally to the recommendation part as well. It was well done. Only recommendation from my side, when you were, giving the speech evaluation in the beginning, your video was off. It would have been better if you come on the screen and given the, target to the speaker first. And summary can be a little bit more refined. Summary is something where you will summarize your, strength part, your recommendation part, and you come to the conclusion part. It can be a little bit well articulated in your next speech. Otherwise, it was all good. Evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Ayushi. Well done. You again started with a hook. You started with a question. Your responses and your strength are very specific in nature. You put up the specific quote from the speech and you see where you could have done well. You pointed out to the body language, and in general also, you, even though you don't have the exact roles, but you done it pretty well over there. But again, one recommendation I said, I think you have spent a little more time on the recommendation side. So our objective should be on the commendation part, basically, so that it keeps the speaker elevated somehow here. And also, I was thinking, in the last minute, you a little bit hurried up when you see the red screen over there. We can have well managed over time so that we can cover up everything which we are intended to do. Now it's time to evaluate speaker 3, Toastmaster Riya Anand. He doesn't seems to be online. Anyways, I'll write. Again, the same part what here. You were not there on this video when you were evaluating the speech expectations from the speaker 3. And repetition of certain phrases, I think because we have a very limited time, we need not to repeat the whole phrase. You can just take a part of it and then you can give your recommendations over there. The next is evaluator 4, Toastmaster Ashish. What to say? Beautifully explained. I know I called you in between. You were expecting at the number 3, but that's the real stage to be ready all the times. Yeah. You again started with the hook, be at a Rajiv Chowk and how you will feel about it. It was followed by recommendations. Recommendation was also good. You covered both the part. I think the content part as well as the delivery part was there. And the delivery aspects, you highlighted the pauses. I also felt the pauses were there. It will help us to grab the content. It was well paused. It doesn't look paused. It was look like the required pauses that you took. Very well done over there. So the only thing for you, I think there's time for you to visit different clubs, whatever the energy, knowledge you have gained, you inspire other folks as well. Rest all good for you, sir. The next is Toastmaster Palvi, evaluator 5. You pointed out, you called the speaker, please come on the stage. You mentioned the timing whenever you were giving speech specifics. You pointed out specific body language was there. But you point out there are a couple of suggestions. So the general, what I feel, how I adopt in it, whenever I've been asked to evaluate any speech, I keep 3 recommendations. Sorry, not 3 recommendations, 3 strengths part, 2 recommendations, and then I summarized it. So generally we should have the same motto so that the speaker will remain elevated all the times over here. So more emphasis should be on the commendation part, what went well and where we can improvise it. And summarization part was also a little bit missing. What is said in the last longer with the audience. So summarization is keeping a lot of weightage over here. So you can work on it. Now the last speaker, speaker number 6, Toastmaster Banu Dravid. Sir, you have your speech, your evaluation have all the ingredients basically, which I try to emulate in my, evaluations. It had a beautiful hook. It had a strength number 3, recommendation 2, and you ended your speech with a bang. You started with a hook, you closed the loop, just like the speech was there. You covered each and every aspect of it. So it was all well done, and you use the power of 3. I missed one word. I know you used congenial, consistent, and one more seed that I could not grab. Committed over here. So that reaffirms the level of energy and how accurately you are looking into the speech content there. And speaker 6, Toastmaster Shivani, I fully resonate with him. Your speech was very well done. If you have given up, standing speech, it would have been, on the 7 stars level, I would say. I have also the same recommendation for you. It could have been done there. That is pretty much. Did I miss anyone? One thing for few of the speakers, one or two things I have noted down. The same thing, speaker to Toastmaster Arjun. Your speech was very well done, but whenever you are speaking, you are on the speech podium. If someone is coming, you are not supposed to open a door. But you opened a door, you still did not lose the momentum. Sometimes we get engaged, anxious over it, but you keep the momentum well done. But ideally, we should not avoid those things.
I wanted him to attend.
And speaker three, and one or two things I noticed for you, all well done. The good parts, just the improvisation part I will talk about. When you started your speech, I felt basically, the first 50% of the time your focus was only on the left side. I was sitting there, I can say you were looking there. So you have to cover all the audience, but later on you improved, you covered all the whole of the audience. And somehow I felt your breathing was at a high level. So whenever you felt slow, you can go a little slow. So it automatically give you more space to bring your speech back to the rhythm.
Okay.
So guys, that's pretty much for me. Over to you, team out of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag. Now, moving on to our final round, we have active listener today, and it is that this role has been taken by none other than Toastmaster Kramika. Toastmaster Kramika, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Palvi. Hi, everyone. So the first question is, what was the Yatin's dog name?
Pixie.
What was Twixie's favorite hobby?
That's kind of demolishing the mother's plants.
To destroying your plants.
Yes.
Every morning, what activity Arjun do to keep themselves calm and composed?
Meditation.
Meditation and mantra chanting. How many kilometer marathon ran by Toastmaster Manu?
42. Didn't mention he completed.
What example is given by Toastmaster Shivam to elaborate on why mentorship is needed?
Swimming.
Yes, that's correct. Which metro station name used by Toastmaster Kumar?
Rajiv Chowk.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kramika. Now I'll hand over the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Sharad. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, such a mesmerizing speech we have today. Is it with I am only facing difficulty in finding out which is the best one, or all you are facing this? For this, we have the voting links available in the group chat and the guest group. Or you can vote your favorite role players, speakers, and evaluators, and tag team. Meanwhile, we can take the guests for the feedback, how they feel the meeting. So coming up first, we have Prashant. Prashant, can you just turn on your camera and give us the feedback? How would you like the meeting today?
Hello. Hey. Okay. So I'm really surprised as to how talented people are in this group, and the kind of speeches which were delivered, they were really amazing. And each one of the speakers, they were really phenomenal. And I think kudos to all of them. I think I really enjoyed the session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Prashant, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Next, we have Saurabh.
Thank you. I see a lot of energy today. Before I was joining meeting, today's guys really amazing. The speakers and their voice, their energy are challenging to me to perform a speech here and participate in table topics. That's it. Thank you so much.
We have a speechathon today, so we don't have table topics, but you can try next time.
Sure.
Same with Prashant as well. So with this, sir, would you like to come and give your feedback?
Oh, absolutely loved us meeting today, and the environment, atmosphere, the camaraderie between the members, all phenomenal. Before coming here today, I was in fix whether to attend online, just listen Shivani's speech and then give my feedback and logo. But I will thank myself that I came here today and got a great opportunity to hear those fantastic speeches. All of them were motivational and inspiring. So thank you for giving me this chance.
Thank you so much, Manu, for coming up and joining us today. And so far, we have 15 responses. Anybody's left who is yet to complete his?
Mine just left. Man, did you give your response, man?
All right, we can start with the best role players for the day. For the best auxiliary role player, this is among the timer, Simran, grammarian Bhavesh, our counter Pritish, and listener Pravanka. Any guesses?
Bhavesh.
Can you just help us with the technique? The second is the best role player for the day. This is between the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pallavi, and the general evaluator, Toastmaster Anurag. Yes, it's Toastmaster Anurag. Now the best prepared speech speaker for the day. This is among the Toastmaster Yatin, Toastmaster Arjun, Toastmaster Mrinal, Toastmaster Bhavna, Toastmaster Shivam, and Toastmaster Shivani. Any guesses?
Arjun Mrinal.
Divided house.
It's a tough one.
It's very difficult to choose.
It's a- huh? I could say the same as well, but this time it's Toastmaster Shivani.
Shivani, one more picture for the presentation.
Thank you so much.
Pallavi, can you please help us in clicking
Is
up
it the right or the other one?
Yeah, and let us know we can pin that. Or can...
Yes.
The other hand.
I'm supposed to take
Yeah.
photos.
We need to.
I'll take Pallavi, I'll take.
Okay.
Print them. Yeah, I think that laptop can be printed.
Oh,
It is not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sharad as well. Yatin Agarwal.
Yatin. I should just pin a Yatin as well.
Stage. The stage, the offline stage.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, yes. That. Which one? Pallavi.
Other one, Pallavi. Pallavi, hand is okay.
I was on mute. For me, it's not coming up properly. It's coming side by side. So any hand will do.
What about you, Sagar? If it's fine or not?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Perfect.
I'll still take one picture.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Not the last, not the least, the prepared speech evaluator for the day. This is among the Sagar, Ayushi, Riya, Ashish, Pallavi, and Bhanu. Any guesses?
For me, it was Rihanna for my speech.
And anybody else want to guess?
Divided house.
Meanwhile, I just Ayushi, can you just remove the spotlight? This goes to none other than the veteran Toastmaster of the club, Toastmaster Ashish.
Oh.
With this, I will be let's call up the day for the meeting, and we have a Zoom feed, and so everybody can turn on their video camera. You can join in that.
Great speech. When see epic people are giving speeches, these two guys in last 2 months, they would have given 5 or 6 speeches, 4 or 5 speeches. Last 2 months. That's the kind of momentum required. Okay, all of us are coming. Somebody will need to bend with us. You are coming.
Few people can
You are
stand
coming.
in front of
Yeah,
that
you are
laptop
coming.
as well. So they'll also come.
You are coming. Yatin, you are not coming.
Yes.
Yatin, you can bend down.
No,
Yes.
we all are there.
We are there in
We are there.
Yeah,
Ayushi, you can use that laptop. You can use that laptop. Remove the camera, and
That's very small. Yeah, that's a better idea. But then Bhavna, you will have to move also. Because they are changing that laptop. So maybe bend down and test your knees. Oh. Arjun is getting hidden. Oh. This was strange one.
जल्दी करो.
Where is Bhavesh?
Okay. Bhavesh,
Okay, okay.
Bhavesh,
3, 2,
Bhavesh, आगे आओ,
1.
आगे आओ.
3, 2, 1, cheers.
Oh. Oh. Okay, for the physical audience, we'll take a photo outside and then Photoshop.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
वो पॉडकास्ट बन गया वो बहुत बड़ी चीज है.